Hello everyone. The reason I'm doing this video is because, for one, I always hear about people getting their accounts hacked, and it seems like almost every single time the person is like, well, I don't know how my account got hacked, I don't give away my password, so on and so forth. They think that they've been secure with their password and their email or whatever, right? But I see mistakes. I see people making a lot of mistakes and giving out personal information or giving things that a person could use to get their password or their email, so on and so forth, right? And I saw one of these instances the other day when I was in class with one of my teachers, as a matter of fact. So the class had kind of started, and she had the projector screen up, and she was trying to sign into the school website with her email address. So she had her email address, whatever, at whatever.com, and she started to type in her password. Okay, obviously you can't see your password because any of you who've ever tried to sign in, you know that the actual numbers or letters don't show up. It just shows like little dots when you're typing the numbers in, right? So she thought she was safe, she didn't think that she was doing anything wrong, or that no one can infer anything from that, right? That couldn't be any further from the truth, and she made some huge mistakes. First of all, although every time she typed in either a letter or a number, it only shows a little dot, you can count how many dots she entered. So, for example, say I just had her email address, which is common because she's a teacher, she has to give out her email address, right? But I don't know how many characters her password is. It could be 2 characters, 6 characters, 10, 15 characters her password could be. I have no idea. And so there's potentially billions and billions and billions and billions, literally, of potential combinations that could be between, say, 2 to 16, 2 to 15 characters, right? But now, since she showed me exactly, matter of fact, it was 8. It was exactly 8 characters. That's how much her password is. So by showing the whole class that anyone who wants to try to hack her account, she's helped them extraordinarily. I mean, I can't even tell you how much easier that made. I mean, just think a person trying to go hack your account, and again, they don't know how many characters your password is, but she allowed everyone to know that her password is 8 characters long. But then, her second mistake. So, she's typing it in, right? But she types in the first one, and she pauses, and then she types in the consecutive 7. So, from that, you can infer from the first one she typed, then it was another letter or number that was far away, or that she switched from letters to numbers. For example, she might have pressed 1 and then started pressing letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, or something to that nature. Or she might have started with a letter and then switched to numbers. But just the fact that she paused from the first little dot that she did into the next one that she did kind of rapidly, it shows some kind of pattern. There's some kind of difference between the first character that she typed and the consecutive 7. And so that's just something else that helps, right? And these are things that hackers fish for. Look for any little thing. She made say she made another pause at the end. That would infer something else. Maybe she went from like number to letters and then back to numbers again. So people watch out for that stuff. They really do. Just think that a hacker is always watching. Okay, another common mistake I see people make is, okay, there's 2 ways to get into your account. One, obviously, you put your email in, you put your password, and then you get into your account. The other way is, oh, I forgot my password. So you click on a button that says, I forgot my password, and it gives you these other questions that you set up earlier, like, what is the high school you went to, or what is the name of your first pet, or something like that, right? Do not ever put the real answers to those questions. That is one of the worst mistakes that you can make. For example, say it says, what is the high school you went to? You don't want to put the real name of your high school. Just think to yourself, how many people know what high school you went to? Or how easily could it be just in general conversation? Somebody's talking to you and I'm telling you kind of about my life or when I was younger, and I was like, oh yeah, I went to this high school, and oh hey, where did you go? Oh, I went to this and this high school. Fishing for information, and you give it up willingly. No problem, I can find out where your high school is. Or with your first pet. I get into a conversation with you and I'm talking about say my life or whatever, and I'm showing you my pictures. Hey, here's my kids and this and that, and oh, here's my dog. Yeah, it was my first dog. He died or whatever, this and that. Oh, it's that. Oh, did you have a pet growing up? Yeah, I had this Labrador. Oh yeah, what was his name? And the person doesn't even think about it. And then they give you the name of the dog, what type of dog it was, and so now they go to your account and they go to these secret questions. Oh, what was the name of your first pet? And then they say, oh, Benjamin or whatever it was, and enter it. So never give the real answers to those questions. If it says, what was the name of your high school, put bubblegum, something else, anything besides the real answer, because people can fish for that. And in general, whatever your password is, try to make it something that's not common, like a birthday or your name plus your birth year, common things like that. Things that people can easily find by, say, just getting a hold of your identification or something like that. Also, although it's recommended that, say you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and they're like, oh, why don't you want to give me your account password? You don't trust me, this and that. I recommend don't take into their little propaganda. Don't give them their password, because people break up. I don't care if you've been married for 10 years. People break up, but you don't want them to have that information to your password. However, if you really, really trust that person, and you're like, you know what, I want to let them access my Facebook or my Yahoo account, whatever it is, and you want to give them their password, do that. But don't ever tell them the secret questions. That way, if by some chance they do something nefarious with your account and start posting naked pictures of you or whatever it is, you could use those secret questions to go in there and rechange the password so they can't access the account anymore. Anyhow, I hope that helps. Again, I hear about a lot of people getting their accounts hacked, and again, people are always like, oh, I don't know what I did or how people found out my password. And it's because people don't think about it, but they give a lot of information. There's things that hackers see that, say, ordinary people don't see, and you just got to be careful. You just got to be really careful. Anyhow.